I am like Hannah, but for Starfish. You can reach me with Starfish questions at starfish@everettcc.edu. And for those of you who don't know what Starfish is, don't worry, we're going to talk about that today.
Tavo.
Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Tavo and I'm from IT. I'm here to answer any questions in regards to how to access your account or any technology questions that you may have.
And Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave Miracle. I work in IT as well, desktop team. And like Tavo, if you call the help desk, if you email the help desk and you have any questions, I definitely am here to support and assist.
Awesome. So today we're going to be talking about technology here at EvCC, technology that might help you be more successful in your experience here at EvCC. And we are here to answer questions. We're going to go through Canvas, Starfish, passwords, parking passes, so many different things, your student email. So again, just put your questions in the Q&A and we will answer those as we go. And we're going to go ahead and get started.
We're going to start a question that many people will ask, many students. Now I'm enrolled, and now what? Where do I start? Well, the first thing is that you need to know what your student ID is, and also you need to know what your username is. That's a crucial part of coming into campus or joining into Everett Community College, because when you call IT help desk, that's the main way to help you locate your account and help you change your password and access your account. Now, how do you set your password? Well, like I say, with your user ID and also the student, with your student ID and the username, we'll be able to guide you through the process of changing your password. We usually create a access code, and you can do that by going into My EvCC and input your student ID, and then with the generated code, you will be able to access your account and do it yourself. This is, we want you to have more access of your actual account. Now, I guess this will be the most difficult part, creating a password. We do have a password policy that is 15 characters. We do utilize a one number, an uppercase, lowercase, and a special character. Now, I will suggest not to utilize a first name or your last name or username, because that's not going to be allowed. And if you have any questions in regards to how to set up your password, don't hesitate to call the help desk. We're here to help you. Now, this phone number will be handy, always handy to have close by. So whenever contacting the IT help desk, just make sure that you have your student ID and also the user ID. We'll be then ask you a few personal questions for the security of your account. You can always send an email to helpdesk@everettcc.edu, and we always here to help you. Okay, now you have your login information. Now what? Now you can utilize your username, your email, to access Canvas, to access My EvCC, to access your student email, and also to purchase parking permits. Prior to this 15-character password, it used to be 90 days until you change your password. Now it's 180 days, which makes it much easier. You don't have to worry about for 6 months. And your student email obviously is permanent. How do you navigate our website? The crucial links that you need to remember It's going to be, this is the main website, and there's a search bar, and then on top there's going to be the links that you need. The main one will be My EvCC. That's where everything will be located. Your student portal will be there, and also if you see, there's going to be a Canvas access link and also a Starfish. Now you got all your information. You obviously wrote it down. Now, how do you access your EvCC? As you can see the link, you can select the link. The username is going to be only the first letter of your first name, the first letter of your middle name if you have any. If not, then it's going to be an X, and then your last name. And then log in. Here is going to be where you can access the student portal, and then you can also from here purchase parking permits. You can request Chromebooks. You can access your profile and change anything you want from there. Now, how do you access your student email? Accessing your student email, you can also go to the main website. Then you can select My EvCC, or it used to be a link in there, but now you can access from My EvCC, select My Profile, and there's going to be a link from there. Or you can go directly to google.com, and because we utilize the Google environment, that's going to be sync and it's going to be much easier. Remember to input the entire email. So it's going to be your first letter of your first name, the first letter of your middle name, and then your email, plus the @ symbol, students.everettcc.edu. And now I want to pass the microphone to Mr. Dave.
Thank you, Tavo. So now that you know what your student username and password is, and you know how to log into My EvCC, say you have classes on campus, you may want to know where to get your parking permit. So your parking permit, you can find it online. You just need to go ahead and look up for your parking permit. You'll find it at evcc.edu administration, and you'll be able to look up the parking permit. When you click on the page, it'll take you to yet another page that will say parking and traffic. You'll scroll way down until you get to buy your permit online. You'll go ahead and click the buy your permit online. It'll bring you to another page that says parking permits. Underneath that page, there's a big button that says purchase your fall parking permit. If it was winter quarter or spring, it'll say the relevant quarter. So you click it, it'll bring you to an agreement. You'll accept the agreement and then start filling out the information for your parking permit. One thing is you want to have your license plate number for the vehicle you're registering. And at the end of this application, they'll ask you for some payment information. So have your payment method ready, and you'll be able to go ahead and purchase your parking permit. It'll normally be sent out to you. Most of the time, the parking permit arrives within 7 days. And once you're done filling out the application, you will get emailed a temporary parking permit that you can go ahead and print out and put on your dash when parking on campus until the hanger arrives in the mail. So you have some resources when you're a student at EvCC. One of those resources is you have a free Office 365 account. You can download Office 365. You can do this by going to the www.office365.com. You can also, when you get there, there's going to be a sign-on tab in the top right of the screen. You click sign in, and when you click sign in, you will use your EvCC student email and the password that you've created. You'll sign in, and it'll take you to where you can access your Office 365. You can download the Office suite, and you should be good to go. With that sign in, you get 1 terabyte of Microsoft OneDrive storage, which can be very useful. Now, for those of you that may be on campus or may have access to a campus computer, we actually have what's called the H drive, and that's 15 megabytes of storage. And it only works while you're on campus, signed into a computer. It's where you can kind of store your data, and you'll have access to it on any computer that's on campus. Once again, an on-campus item is eTech provides you with $20 of printing. So if you're actually on campus when we're open, you can use any one of our printers and print off any documents that you would like. We do rent out netbooks that come with the Office suite on them. They're rented out through the library via circulation. They cost $20 a quarter. And don't forget, you can save money on Apple products through our online Apple store at everettcc.edu/Apple on campus. So different ways of staying connected while you're with EvCC. There's something called rave alerts. You can get to these rave alerts by signing into my EvCC student portal. If you look under the academic column on the left-hand side, I apologize, it's your profile column on the left-hand side, you'll see something called emergency notification. If you click on that, that'll take you to where you can turn on the emergency notifications. You can opt to have it emailed to you. You can also opt to have it text to your phone, and with that, you'll get up-to-date reports. If there's something going on, the security makes an announcement. If there's a snow closure, if there's any kind of alert that's campus-wide, they'll post it on the Rave Alert, and you'll be able to have access to that. The other way you can keep up with EvCC Tech is on Facebook. It's facebook.com/EvCCIT. You can also see us on Twitter, twitter.com/EvCCIT. So conferencing tools, things that you want to be familiar with. We have different applications that we use for doing video conferencing, for doing instant messaging back and forth. One of these that we use is called Google Meet. Google Meet is very similar to Zoom. It's just through the Google environment. You can do most things that you can on Zoom through Google Meet. You can text, you can video call, you can do screen sharing. So it's pretty easy to use. I recommend that you go ahead and try it out, maybe with another student or even at home if you have somebody that has Google Meet. Just check it out, see what it's like, be familiar with it. The other one that we have is Zoom. Very common. It's what you see in front of you now. It's more of it's a one-on-one video call and/or a conference, just like this, where you have multiple people. You can do the Q&As. You can do different things inside Zoom. It's a little more robust than what Google Meets is. But these are the two kind of video conferencing things that you will probably be exposed to quite a bit as a student on campus, especially during this time. So Chromebooks, we do offer Chromebooks. The Chromebooks are handed out through the library circulation department. As you can see, the number is 425-388-9353. You can also email them at circulation@everettcc.edu. They are already scheduling up to hand out Chromebooks. You can schedule a Chromebook appointment by logging into My EvCC. If you scroll down here, there's a big button that says Chromebook Appointments. Go ahead and click that button, and it'll take you to schedule your Chromebook appointment. The Chromebooks are being picked up outside of Olympus Hall, and again, the library at Circulation Department is setting up those appointments. So as you can see, Circulation in the library is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Or sorry, Monday through Thursday, I apologize. Friday, they're open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So the Center for Disability Services, we also refer to it as CDS. Normally you could be on, if you were on campus, you would go to the Park Student Union building, you go on the second floor, and you'd be able to walk in and talk to somebody, Right now, it works best to email them at cds@everettcc.edu. You may also give them a call at 425-388-9272. So for those of you that are new to the program, you'd fill out the new student application for accommodations. And if you want to find information about the Center of Disabilities, please go ahead and search disability on our EvCC homepage, and you'll find more information. So what can you access on your smartphone or your tablet, smart device? Canvas. Canvas has an app that you can download. It's on the Google Play Store. It's also, of course, on the App Store for iOS. You can download that app, log into Canvas, and you'll have instant access. Your student Gmail, you can either use your native email app on your phone, smart device, computer, or you can use Gmail's application that you can download for either iOS or Android. You have My EvCC access through any web browser, through any network connection. You have here on campus, over in parking lot E, just to the south side of the White Horse Hall building, you can access our EvCC open Wi-Fi at any time. You just go pull on up into the parking lot, select the EvCC open wireless. There is a portion, it should bring you up to an authentication page. Once you hit agree, you'll have access to the internet. So Starfish is another one that you can access via the web browser on any smart device or your phone. And with that, I hand this off to the wonderful Hannah.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to share my screen here. And we're going to talk about Canvas. Oh, Tavo, can you enable screen sharing for the participants? I should have done that first, but you're the host now. So Canvas is what you're going to be using for most of your classes here at EvCC. Even when we go back to campus, a lot of your face-to-face classes will use it. You may use it to look up your grades or download content. So the majority of our classes use Canvas in some form or another. It is a web-based software. Here we are. Thank you so much, Tavo. So you do need the internet to access it. We typically recommend that you use Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Edge, or Safari, with Chrome and Mozilla being our two favorites. And just make sure your web browser is up to date. This solves so many issues with Canvas. Canvas really only works well on the latest 2 updates from any given web browser. So make sure your web browser is up to date. Make sure you're clearing the cache and cookies on your web browser regularly. This will also prevent a lot of issues that you might experience in Canvas. Also, Dave mentioned the Canvas app. So there is an iOS and Android app that are free to you. Just note the Canvas app does not have the same functionality as the web browser version. So it's a good idea not to expect to take an entire class from your phone. The app is really good at like looking things up, checking grades, even posting in discussions, but it's not great for taking quizzes or submitting high stakes assignments. You're gonna want to check out a Chromebook or a netbook if you do need a device to work off of. We just highly recommend that you don't take an entire class from your phone. All right, so Canvas, it's the same login as My EvCC in your student email and Starfish and a lot of those other things. When you first log in, you're going to see this dashboard here. The default view for the dashboard is this Canvas card view. You can change the view at any time by going to the 3 little dots in the upper right-hand corner. Someone called this a snowman today, so I think that's pretty cool. So you have list view, which gives you more of like a to-do list option, like it's sorted out by day. You can actually add items to it if you would like, but this will populate more when your classes become available on the first day of the quarter. There's also this recent activity view that's really just like a course stream of all your different courses, shows you the latest things that have been happening. So you can choose whichever one of these that you prefer. I prefer the card view personally, but that is the dashboard. You can also, if your courses are not currently available on your dashboard, you can look up your course materials here in the EvCC bookstore on the right-hand side. There is a textbook lookup there. That being said, don't panic if your fall courses are not showing up on your dashboard yet. Some instructors do wait until the first day of the quarter to make them available. If you're worried that you're not enrolled, you can always check your course schedule in My EvCC or go over to this Courses tab on the left-hand side of the dashboard. If you scroll to the bottom and click on All Courses, you're going to see every class that you will be taking and have taken at EvCC. So your upcoming courses should be up at the top or in a section that says Upcoming Quarters. You'll notice if it says No in the Published column, it means that you can't click on the course and enter it because the instructor has not made it available yet. Your fall courses should move over to your dashboard on the first day. If they don't, please let us know. You can also check in here. It might be available to you, but you may just need to star it to push it onto your dashboard. Some instructors do close their classes after the end of the quarter, so you can come in here and look under past enrollments, and you should be able to access them in read-only state unless the instructor has completely closed the class for access. So that is the Courses tab. We're going to go up here to Account Settings. There's a lot you can do in here. We're going to click on the Settings button. So if you want to set up a profile picture, you can do this by clicking on the dot in the upper left-hand corner. And if you click on Edit Settings, there's a couple things that you can alter here. You can change your display name. So if your name with the college doesn't match the name you go by, or your name, you can change your display name. So that's what your instructors and fellow students will see in your courses. Please don't change it to any nicknames that your instructor might not know you by. So just use that sparingly. Also, you can set your pronouns. This will appear next to your name in Canvas. You can set a language in Canvas. This will affect every area except your courses. The instructor sets the language on those courses. And then you can change the time zone. This is really important if you are taking classes in another part of the world or the country. Make sure you switch your time zone to reflect where you are. That will change your due dates and times so it reflects where you're actually at. You'll also see an email address in the upper right-hand corner. This email address is the email address you registered with. If it doesn't reflect the email address that you use, you can add another one and then make that your primary email on Canvas and set up your notifications so they're all sent to that email. If you need us to remove an email for whatever reason, please let us know and we'll do that for you. Notifications are really important. These will be sent to the email or phone number that you have attached to Canvas. So you can come in here and alter these at any time. So the ones I usually recommend getting right away are announcements. That's usually the area that instructors will communicate urgent information to you. Grading is a good one. If you have a new grade, you usually want to know that. Submission comment, that way you're getting feedback from your instructors. And conversation message. Conversation message simply refers to the Canvas inbox, which we're going to talk about in a moment. So just make sure you're setting these up. If you hover over each of these, it'll tell you what they do. So we're going to look at the Canvas inbox. So this is not email, it's not student email. It's simply an in-Canvas messaging system. So if I was going to send a message to one of my instructors, I would first need to choose the course. And then I could either start typing in the name of the person that I wanted to message and it would pull up, or I could click on the address book on the right-hand side and choose who I want to message. Just be really careful with this all button because that will message everyone in your course. All right, we are going to pop into a class and just look at a couple things. All right, so we're going to go into student view. So you can see this as a student would. So every class is set up a little bit differently. Some instructors might set up the navigation of your course to have a lot of different things. This class only has 3. This course has the modules set up as the home page. Modules are simply used to organize your class. It's usually by week, but it could be by unit, by topic, but it helps you to know how to move through your class. So we're going to look at an assignment. All right, so this student has already submitted this assignment, but it's really important to note the due date, the point value, and how your instructor is accepting submissions. This could be many different ways, or they could restrict it to a specific file type. So maybe they're only taking Word documents, so it's .doc or .docx. So note that, and the directions are usually in this space here. If I was going to submit the assignment, there will be a big red Submit Assignment button. I'll click on that, and then I'm going to want to scroll down. I have many different ways that I can submit this assignment. File upload is the most common, where you would pull a file from your device. And there's also text entry, which brings up this word processor. Please do not write your assignments here. If you're going to submit this way, copy and paste into the space. Just make sure you're clicking Submit Assignment at the bottom. You can also submit using Google Drive. You can pull files from your Google Drive and then click Submit Assignment at the bottom. Once you do that, make sure you're scrolling back up to the top and you see that your assignment has been submitted successfully. You can resubmit before the due date and the instructor will see the latest submission. Right, we're going to look at a discussion really quick. Awesome. So it says when the discussion's due, how many points it's worth, and the prompt for the discussion. If I was to reply, I'd simply hit the reply button. And it will bring up this word processor. There's a lot you can do here. You can hyperlink things, embed images, embed media. You can also embed like a Google slideshow or a Google document. You can attach files, and there's a word counter at the bottom. If I was going to reply to another student, I would click the reply button in their post. Note some instructors will have this set up so you have to post before you can see other students' posts. All right. And then quizzes. So right now there's 2 different ways to have quizzes in Canvas. So it might look a little different than this, but you should see a time limit if your quiz is timed, the due date, and then there should also be a space letting you know how many times you can take the quiz if it's more than 1. So you'd simply click Begin Quiz or Start Quiz and then go through. Your instructor might allow you to see what you got correct or incorrect at the end. Just note that if you get kicked out of a quiz for whatever reason, say your Wi-Fi crashes, you can always re-enter if it's before the due date. Some instructors might also be using proctoring software, but they will let you know that at the beginning of the class and give you information on how to set that up. All right, so if you need assistance with Canvas, if you have questions, there's a couple ways to get a hold of us. Email is usually the quickest. You can email us at elearning@everettcc.edu. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat so you don't have to remember it. But also there's this resources button in the bottom left-hand corner. There's a lot of great resources in here. There's the Writing Center, the Tutoring Center, but there's also a Report a Problem with Canvas button. This allows you to submit a help ticket that goes directly to us. Just make sure if you're emailing or submitting a help ticket that you're giving us as much information about the problem you're having as possible or the question you have. Let us know who you are, your student ID number, what class you're having trouble with. That helps us troubleshoot your problem or get the information that you need as quickly as possible. We also have a live chat on the Canvas login page that's available for very specific hours. There's also virtual office hours that you can use to interact with us as well. So don't hesitate to reach out. We are definitely here to assist you and want to make sure that you are as successful as you can be at EvCC. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention is you'll notice this Starfish button in the left-hand navigational menu of this course. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Caitlin, who's going to talk about Starfish.
Thank you, Hannah. So, as Hannah just mentioned, you have this button sitting in the navigation menu of each of your Canvas courses that says Starfish. So let's start with the most basics. What is Starfish? So Starfish is Everett Community College's student success technology, which basically means it is a set of tools designed to make it easier for staff and faculty to reach out to you and to make it easier for you to reach out to the college. So it's a lot of different tools in one. It is appointment booking. It's a messaging system. It is a way for you to send questions to student services. It is a way for some of the folks that you work with most closely on campus to provide you with both positive and constructive feedback. So it's a lot of different things in one. And let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. So, most basic, where do I find Starfish? So you can click that Starfish link in the navigation menu of any of your Canvas courses, and it will just open up Starfish inside Canvas. No additional logging in needed. Now, that's really convenient because you don't have to go through the sign-in process again. But it doesn't always work all that well on mobile devices because Canvas tries to show you Starfish in a little tiny box. And it turns out that when your screen is already small, like say if you're accessing it from a smartphone, that little tiny box can be kind of unusable. Fortunately, getting into Starfish directly is not hard. If you're here on the college website, you go to those links up top, and right next to your Canvas link, you've got a Starfish link. Click that, and it will bring you, once it loads, to our Starfish login screen. So you're going to use the same username and password that you use for Canvas, so you do not need to remember any new login information. That also means if you're having trouble logging in, that IT should be able to help you out because it is the same system. Also, if you're on this page and you're like, I don't quite know how to do things in Starfish, you can click this, our Starfish landing page. And it will bring you here to some videos that walk you through how to do different steps in Starfish and a PDF training guide. All right, so let's get started. What do I see when I log in to Starfish? 1 second. There we go. Sorry, Starfish decided to migrate to a different browser window. There we go. All right, so when you log into Starfish, the very first thing you're going to see is the people on campus you work with most closely. So this will be your instructors, your advisors, and if you're working with one of our special support networks on campus, such as TRIO or the Veterans Office or Internationals, you'll also see the folks who work in that office here on your home screen. Now, if you have never logged into Starfish before, the very first thing you're going to want to do is go in and set up your profile. To do that, you're going to go to the drop-down menu, you're going to click the arrow next to your name, and you're going to click Profile. As a side note, Starfish doesn't have a native ability to specify your preferred name like Canvas does, but if you go and set the preferred name with the college in general, then Starfish will call you by that preferred name. Okay, so information I can enter on my profile. You can upload a picture, preferably of your face. Now, that's not required. We all know there are reasons you might not want to have your picture online, but if you don't mind, putting a picture of yourself can help the folks that you work with actually recognize you. It'll be a lot more useful than just having, surprised Pikachu. You can also specify an alternate email. So by default, Starfish is going to send all of your notifications to your students.everettcc.edu email address. But as we know, not all of us check that address as regularly as we should. So if you've also provided us with a personal email at the time of registration, Starfish will also by default send to that address as well. And if you want to change what that second address Starfish is sending to is, you can go in and change it in this alternate email field. Other things that you could choose to put in, you could choose to put in a phone number. That will help if you have folks on campus who should be reaching you via phone. And you can set your time zone here too, just like you do for Canvas. You can also choose to make some changes to how often and what time of day Starfish sends you emails, but you're not required to. Once you've done all that setup, you're going to hit submit and you're ready to be using Starfish. So what can I do with this platform, Caitlin? Why are you making me be in here? First thing you can do is book appointments with people. Now, not everyone on campus has set up their appointment booking through Starfish yet, though a lot of folks have. Your instructors may provide you with a special Starfish link in, say, their syllabus, which, if you click it, will take you directly to their profile or their appointment booking in Starfish. So what that will look like, if I want to find someone to book an appointment with and they haven't just given me a direct link, I can either search for them up here, or if it's somebody I work with closely, I can click their name here. So for example, maybe I need to make an appointment with Bethy, who is my instructor and advisor. I click on her profile and I see this big blue button, schedule appointment. That means that she is using Starfish to do appointment booking. When I click that button, it'll ask me what I need help with. I need some help with careers. It'll ask me to pick a time that's available on her calendar. And it will ask me to pick a location. I'll just give a little message about why we want to meet. I want to ask about job opportunities on the moon. I'm not actually going to hit confirm because I don't want to actually send this professor an appointment request from testo student. But once I hit confirm, that professor would get a Google Calendar invite and my time would be all scheduled with her. I can also, going here into our test environment, see any appointments that I have scheduled with people by going to the drop-down menu and clicking on Upcoming. This will show me all of the appointments I have scheduled in the future. Because I don't know about you, but especially in this time of online learning, sometimes I lose track of what all appointments I have coming up. So having one place where you can come and look can be really helpful. All right, so that's appointment booking in Starfish. What else can I do here? Starfish will also send you a lot of messages. Well, not a lot, a reasonable number of messages when you have important feedback from your instructors or from the college in general. To read those messages, you're going to go to the drop-down menu and click on Messages. So if you receive an email that says, hey, you have a message from Starfish, log in for more details, this is where you'll find out. And you can see all of the messages people have sent you and read all of the details. So for example, I have here a message, congratulations on excellent academic performance. What did that say? I click on it and it pulls up a copy of the email I received. Dear Testo, congratulations on your excellent performance in your courses. I am so proud of all of you. Congratulations again and keep up the good work. So you can read your messages in one place in Starfish. You can also receive both positive feedback from people you work with and constructive feedback if they want to let you know they have a concern. To see that, you'll go to the drop-down menu and click on Dashboard. The dashboard will show you lots of things. It'll show you your upcoming appointments. It'll show you concerns people have sent you in the form of flags. It will show you referrals people have made to folks on campus, which incidentally, for all of you who are new to campus, you will be receiving program advising assignments. So the professor who's going to be the one who's helping you with program advising through Starfish in the very near future. And by the very near future, I mean, I think we're doing it all sometime this quarter for all the new students. The way that will look, you will get an email that says you have been assigned to a program advisor, and it will tell you who it is. And you can go back and find that program advisor by going to your dashboard, going down to notifications, and finding referral, advisor referral. It'll tell you who that is assigned to. That is who your program advisor is. So in this case, Testo student has had an advisor referral assigned to Caitlin Jacques. So if I, as Testo, want to schedule an appointment with my advisor, I can just click on their name and I'll be here on their profile screen and I can click that schedule an appointment button. Also on the dashboard, I can see all of that positive feedback that people have sent me. So kudos are something that are pretty new to the college. We're working on rolling those out more, but those are cases where somebody has noticed that you've just done particularly well and they want to let you know. Because I promise, we don't just notice when things are going badly here at Everett Community College, we also notice when you all are being awesome. All right, last thing I'm going to show you today is how to reach out to student services through Starfish. To do that, you're going to go to the drop-down menu and you're going to click Raise Your Hand. This might be renamed to Request Your Help sometime in the near future. That's a decision the college is still making. So, in order to ask this kind of question, you're going to select the kind of help that you need, which maybe you have a question about athletics, or you have a question about counseling, or campus housing, or financial aid. Lots of different student services are participating through this platform. In this case, though, I am going to say that I have questions about, I don't have any questions. I'm just learning to use this. If this was about a particular class, I could specify what class it was about, and I can write my question in here. Why are there stars at night? Once I hit submit, that question went off to the student service I wanted to ask a question about. And I would get an email saying, thank you for reaching out. We will get back to you within 1 to 2 business days. In the meantime, here's some more general information about this kind of question. So that's really the idea of Starfish. We want to make it really easy for you to find the people and services that you need to work with, to reach out to them, and to make time with them. Especially during this time of online learning, we know it can be stressful to try to reach the student services that you need. So we want to make this just a little bit easier for you. Now, looking out into the future, pretty soon, Starfish is actually going to get an upgrade. So some of these interfaces, like say that profile setup, are going to be even more mobile phone friendly. So right now they do work on a mobile phone, but pretty soon the interface is going to be changed to be extra mobile friendly. And so if you log in and it looks something like this, that means that we successfully did the upgrade so that it can be working even better with smartphones. All right, that is the Starfish platform. Just as a reminder, because we haven't gotten any yet, you can be asking any questions that you have over in the Q&A that you see at the bottom of your screen.
Tavo or Dave, is there anything else that you would like to share about IT or the technologies used on campus before we wrap up?
But of course, Hannah, you know I always have something to say. So I just want to point out once again, when you actually get to the online password reset tool and you're entering your new 15 character password, after entering it in the second time, please hit the submit button. Don't hit enter. If you hit enter after typing in your new password 2 times, it tends to glitch out and not work correctly. So please, after putting in your new password twice at the password reset tool, be sure to click submit. And I did want to mention just real briefly, when you're looking for a parking permit on our main website, if you go to our main website, if you go kind of on the top to the right, there's going to be a listing that says I want to. If you hover over it, it'll give a drop-down menu and the parking permit will be there. Click it and then it'll take you and you can start the steps that I explained earlier. And that's it for me. Besides, thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching. And I hope you learned something today.
Awesome. One thing I did want to mention about usernames too is that your username doesn't change typically unless you change your name with the college. So in that reset area, you can't go in and change your username. That's one thing that tends to be a little bit confusing for students sometimes. And also, I know our passwords are really long. What usually helps me to kind of think of a password that long is to think of it more in terms of like a phrase. Like for example, maybe you're gonna take your 3 most favorite Star Wars characters, smush them together, and then add an exclamation point and a number at the end. That kind of thinking, or like I love my dogs, 1991 exclamation point, or I have a doctor's appointment in September exclamation point number. So like thinking of it more in terms of a phrase might also help. We have a question. Will we get notification on when we need to change our password, or do we need to keep track of that ourselves? Great question. Dave or Tavo, do you want to answer that? If not, I can do it.
Sure. So you have to keep track of your time. Basically, it's 180 days now. You don't get a notification, but you can easily place it on your Google Calendar if you have, or any other calendar or reminder. That's super simple. And if you don't know how to, we'll be more than happy to help you with that.
And like when you log into the password reset tool, it will show you the date of when you last reset your password. Usually if you set your password in the fall, it expires in spring. That just kind of helps me remember. But yeah, you won't get a notification unless you're using like a campus computer, I believe. Any other questions? Okay. Well, if there aren't any questions, we really appreciate you being here. You can always reach out to us later if you think of something or if you're having any trouble. We're here for you, so don't hesitate to reach out. We'd rather you get the assistance you need than struggle by yourself. So again, thanks for being here. Y'all are awesome, and happy first week of fall quarter next week. And we will see you hopefully in our inboxes and on campus at some point. That would be great. Hang in there, everybody.